Where you file your returns and you are due to an exemption, government is expected to give it to you. And where that is given to you, you'll be able to go abroad, become an evangelist for government to say, oh, I deserved and earned an exemption from paying tax, and I got it. And the fact that I got it, another person will say, oh, I was just supposed to be assessed on 15% or on 7%, and I was assessed on that. And the person that should have been assessed on 25% based on a 50 million income got that also. So you'll be able to speak about that, and it will show equity. It will prove that government is fair. It will prove that government is just. And it will also prove that everybody is paying according to what they earn. Where you also have loans and all that, that will be considered. Your expenses will be taken into consideration. So it doesn't mean that it's all the profit that you have that will be subject to tax. You would have the opportunity to take out your expenses and therefore thereafter compute your tax due.
This is business news. The Lagos State government says its improved revenue performance in 2025 is being driven by digital reforms in public finance and tax administration. Commissioner for Finance Abayomi Oluyomi disclosed this at a public sector budgeting workshop in Ikeja recently, saying technology has improved transparency, accountability, and revenue collection. According to the Commissioner, the integration of ministries, departments, and agencies into the Lagos Revenue Portal has enabled real-time revenue monitoring and seamless electronic payments. He added that improved budget planning, disciplined spending, and efficient project implementation have also strengthened the state's financial performance. Oluyomi further revealed that the government has expanded the Lagos Internal Revenue Service e-taxes platform, introduced an AI-powered revenue chat box to improve taxpayer services and boost tax compliance. He said the reforms have increased public confidence, maintained strong credit ratings, and strengthened financial governance across the state. And that's it on Business News.
Welcome back. Now you're tuned to the Tax Talk, and our guest today on Corporate Talk is the Director, Informal Sector and Special Duties LIRS, Dr. Folasade Coker. Together, we've been trying to tackle the informal economy and inclusion. It's great to have you here, Doctor.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so I wanted to ask briefly about Nigerians in the diaspora. Are they also affected?
Yes, Nigerians in the diaspora, where they do or transact business here, or where they have investments, depending on the type of investment, if it's a treasury bill and all that with a bank or whatever, they'll have to pay tax. But where it is what I'll call the FGN Sukuk bonds or an investment portfolio from the central bank, those are tax exempt. So it goes back to what type of transactions you do. If you have rental income, you have properties in Nigeria, and you earn rent, you will be subjected to withholding tax on those rents and to declare the rental income also when you are filing your returns. So, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for that clarification. But just so we're even more clear, there's a minimum documentation requirement, or what sort of information is actually required for informal sector taxpayers when filing these returns, whether they are here in Nigeria or even abroad?
So, for informal sector, they would not be abroad.
Okay.
So, for the informal sector, that means that they must be in the markets.
Okay.
And really, the reality is that it's not everybody that is in the market that is supposed to be in the informal sector.
Okay.
So that's what this presumptive tax regulation is also going to do. It's going to bring a level of formalization. So it will, over time, take out the outliers in this space.
Okay.
And what do I mean by outliers? A lot of people find comfort in the informal sector because it's like a shadow economy, and the regulations of government are were not really in there at a time. But now where formalization has come in, everybody has to file. The people that should not be there will be taken out.
Okay.
And
so this is for the nano, for the micro
yes, the nano,
enterprises.
the micro, the SMEs, the small, the medium enterprises.
Sure.
So based on that categorization, you'll then realize that over time, the nano and micro that should be exempt from tax will be exempt from tax. Okay. But the medium and the small, the medium and large enterprises, which comprises of maybe distributors for fast-moving consumer goods, which comprises of people that ship in cigarettes or all types of things that shouldn't be categorized in the informal sector, would be exited and transited to the formal sector.
Okay. Yeah. Now, this next question might sound a little strange, but there are some occasional conversations on gender-based misconceptions, suggesting that women, like us, may be tax exempt, from tax obligations. Now, from a legal standpoint, does the tax framework actually address or clarify issues of gender?
The conversation on tax and taxation is basically a conversation on income. Has income been earned?
Okay.
Or income not earned? So it's not along the gender lines.
Okay.
In the market space, I've had people, and I'll say this in Yoruba, obìnrin yẹn wà lábẹ́ ọkùnrin nílé, so ṣó yẹ kó sanwó orí. But if you look at it from the gender, from the income lens, I'm a woman also, and I work in the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, and I earn an income. So would I then say that even though I earn an income, I should not pay tax? We have a lot of thriving women in the informal sector. We have a lot of people going to Switzerland, buying lace in Gotha. We have my famous association that I've become a member somehow.
Okay.
The Plank Association, the Egbe Onipako Atajiri. They ship wood all over Nigeria. So when you look at the conversation on how far these things go, that nail shop that you are seeing, how many real estates depend on that nail shop, you begin to understand the turnover, understand the quantum of commerce that goes in these places. And you begin to understand that it's a lot of income and a lot of IGR that we're speaking about. Sure. So we need to transit the outliers out of that space so that government will be able to give palliatives to the people that are really deserving of it. Okay. The people that should get the exemptions will then get those exemptions, benefit from it, thrive and prosper in business. So that's what the new tax laws are for.
So is it controversial to mention housewives in this context?
No, it's not.
It's not controversial?
Yeah.
Okay, so you spoke Yoruba earlier. I was hoping for you to translate it.
Oh. So to translate that, it just goes to say that, what about our wives?
Yes.
Our wives, we are their husbands.
Yes.
So even though they are doing business, should they pay tax?
Okay.
That they are not expected to pay tax because they are wives to us.
Okay.
But that's not the rule for taxation.
But if a woman is, married and not working or not earning any other income apart from maybe a stipend from her husband, is that tax exempt?
So, where you are living with your husband and you are just a housewife, you still fall under the rule of filing of returns,
Okay.
where you will declare that you do not have any other income apart from this income that is given for you for the household upkeep. You declare that.
Okay.
By the time you are declaring that and you show that you are not working for anyone, you'll definitely be exempted, because your husband or whichever of the spouses is working would also be expected to file their returns. And in filing their returns, we will then be able to do that paper trail to understand that that spouse earns enough to keep a woman at home,
Okay.
or a man at home, and also to take care of the welfare of the children, parents, and all that. So once all those boxes are ticked and the income is properly assessed to someone, then everyone is good to go.
All right. Thank you so much for clarifying that very important angle. And then another very interesting conversation is regarding eligibility for reliefs with regards to rent-related relief within the informal sector. So now, are informal operators entitled to claim applicable reliefs under the law, and what conditions must be satisfied for us to benefit from them?
So there are different types of reliefs. So some, it's easier for people in the formal sector to claim because they have structure. These deductions are done, the housing funds, the health insurance, and all that. So there's a paper trail to show where what is going. And the beneficiaries of those funds, whether pension managers or cooperatives and all that, are easy to trace. In the informal sector, it might not be that easy, but I know that for one, once they have the level of documentation that is expected, once the deductions can be traced to the companies, organizations that manage them, maybe in the market space, an employee has done a pension fund structure for their staff. And it's seen that every month those funds are deducted and remitted to the pension manager. You can take advantage of that. Now going to the rent relief. The rent relief, irrespective of whether you are in the formal or the informal, you rented a house. That's the reality of it. You are only expected to have a rent agreement. But for purpose of taking out the wheat of or the chaff of Oluwole, because you'll have people that will bring about all kinds of agreements, and they might have doctored what rent they are paying. So government has just introduced the fact that they must be stamp dutied. So you have your receipt, you have the stamp duty. Worst case, it will be looked at that maybe you can provide a statement to show the paper trail where the money left your account and hit your landlord's account. You'd also be able to provide your landlord's information, because at the end of the day, beyond the revenue that government is trying to generate, is to also build a credible and accurate database of residents in any state and in Nigeria as a whole. So we must look at it beyond revenue, to data gathering, data analytics, to build the IGR, to provide security and safety for the people resident in each of the states in Nigeria.
There's still a few more questions we have for you. I hope you won't mind as we take a quick break. We still have more coming your way. I trust you'll be there when we get back from this break.
Have you had a hard time with taxes and understanding tax administration in Lagos State and the complex nature of Nigerian tax law? Do you know what agency or tier of government collects the various types of taxes? Have you ever found yourself asking any of these questions? Join us for your favorite program, The Tax Talk, your infotainment program.
Now, in some quarters, particularly within market clusters, there is one belief that persists, that tax declaration may be limited to a single visible outlet, or owori payment. Now, we've done quite a lot to address most of this issue, but the principle in full income disclosure here across multiple income streams. So maybe I'm working at this particular company and maybe I have a side hustle. Let's talk about why it's essential to declare.
So full declaration is expected, honest declaration. So it's full and honest declaration from every individual, looking at the total streams of income that you have. Let's take, for example, I work with the LRS. So as an employee of the LRS, my employer declares my income between the 1st of January and the 31st of January.
Okay.
The onus of proof also is on me to declare any other stream of income that I might have, or stream of income that I do not have. So I might just be living on my paid salary, and I might not have any other stream. So declare that you do not have any other stream of income, and that is clear. But where you have other streams of income, declare those also. Maybe you have a side hustle, as you've said. Maybe you consult by the side, or whatever. You have rental income. Maybe your parents left you a property, and you and your siblings get rent from that and all that. So it's expected that you must declare. So that is why beyond the filing that your employer does, each person is also expected to declare. Whether you're a pensioner or whatever, you declare your pension income, and that you do not have any others, maybe apart from what your children send to you on a monthly to keep you together and pay for basic amenities. But each person is expected to declare all streams of income. And then where you don't have any, you declare nil income, and you are cleared and given a tax clearance or an exemption. But the exemption is annually. So the fact that you don't have an income this year, or you have a minimum income, we are hoping that you continue to thrive.
Yes.
And next year, we are hoping it will be better. And you might not be exempt. You might be earning an income.
Amen to that, I have to say. So once you've declared in 1 year, it doesn't follow on to the next. You must declare every single
It's annual.
year. Yeah. Annual declaration. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the show?
I'll just want to say that the people in the informal sector must understand that life is about evolution. And at a time in Lagos, we use the presumptive as in having a threshold for everybody. But the reality is that, is it fair, is it just, is it equitable? Having one person with a warehouse paying the same amount as someone with a 9 square meter, it's not. With the cardinals of taxation, that is not right. And I believe that those are some of the things that the new tax act has come to correct, to ensure that people pay as they earn, and to also make it easy for people to comply. Because compliance is key. Voluntary compliance is cheaper, is safer than having to enforce. So government has realized that it's important that people comply voluntarily. And we are here, we are ready to ensure that it doesn't impact their business. We are here to continue to do a level of stakeholders engagement, education and enlightenment on a daily. So they can write us as associations, as market leaders. We'll be there to educate their members, to tell them what needs to be done so that they can comply in a timely manner and avoid the several penalties that the Tax Act also provides for. Because government doesn't want people paying penalty. They want you to comply. And we are here to ensure that you are able to do that with minimal or no stress involved. So call us today and we'll definitely be in your market or your trade association meeting.
Thank you very much, Dr. Coker. Every second you've spent with us today has been very insightful. Thank you so much. Now, here at the Tax Talk, we are not only appreciating you, but we continue to wish you well and wish you the best as you discharge your duties.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, it's been an insightful one. We just had a conversation with Dr. Folasade Coker, the Director, Informal Sector and Special Duties, LIRS. Our discussion centered around the informal economy and inclusion, and the Tax Talk will continue after this break. Welcome back. Now, just in case you missed any detail or maybe even the entire discussion earlier on the show, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel and catch the entire show as well as previous episodes as well. You can also join our online community across all social media by engaging our handles across board. Up next, Tax Did It.
Idea around what we're doing here this morning is for it to reach all the nooks and crannies of the state. They said that a clean city is not achieved by government alone. A clean city is built by the daily actions of the people who live in it. In a city as large and dynamic as Lagos, of course, maintaining a clean and healthy environment must remain a collective civic duty. And so each of us therefore has a role to play. At our homes, all of you are looking at me. In your shops, in your markets, in your neighborhood, and in your places of work. They say a clean Lagos begins with the choice that we make every day. Let us be part of that choice. Let us be part of a changed environment. FMC awareness. Health is about our living spaces. And like I said, we can't do it alone. Thank you very much.
Today's edition of the Tax Talk has tackled the informal economy and inclusion with Dr. Folasade Coker, who is the Director, Informal Sector and Special Duties, LIRS. Now, it's at this point that we draw the curtains on this edition of the show. Now, next week, we tackle a different topic on the program. My name, once again, is Titilayo Oyinson. Bye for now.